not a choir. We're not a band. We are today 17 young children who range from the age of 12 to 16, who gave up their innocence for the race. We did not know at that time what we were doing. We did not even make choices at that time. The choices were made for us by God. We're the innocent, we're the rejected, we're the neglected, we're even the forgotten. For our city forgot us for 44 years. And today, in our late 50s and 60s, we receive recognition. But our lives were changed. And every one of us would do it again. We are, and always will be, the Norfolk 17.
Let me make it abundantly clear for the record, as governor of this state, I will not yield to that which I know to be wrong.
When people start talking about going to school with white people, you go, boy, are they crazy? That doesn't happen.
So everybody's supposed to go back to school after Labor Day, but we can go back because the state of Virginia had declared massive resistance.
With determination more relentless than ever before, we have just begun to fight.
Powers that be said before we will open the schools and integrate the schools, we'll close all of them down.
All I've got to say is I'm a segregationist by a long ways, and I'll tell you, I'm very staunch on the deal. And
hey, black people are for too long still second-class citizens. You don't get the best education. Our schools are dilapidated.
Well, Linda, with integration as real and as close as it appears to be now, how do you feel about the rightness or the wrongness of it?
Well, that's hard to say. I feel that I want to go to school.
Well, I think it's horrible. I don't know, we're just all losing our education for just two colored people.
The integration problem doesn't bother me so much as the problem of going to school does.
First of all, the misconception that out of 150 kids that had signed up to go to the school, that only 17 of us were qualified to go to the school.
I think that your parents had to accept this and had to buy into this, that I want my child to be the one, the first to go.
The state or the school board, the public school board in Norfolk, decided that they were going to give us some tests.
I remember a whole week of going down, just taking tests. And the tests, from what I understand now, I didn't know at the time, were actually tests higher than the grade that we were going to go into.
Out of all of those kids, only 17 of us were able to pass those tests. I never will believe that, and I don't know how they came up with it. What I said, as I explained to people, is what I think they did, I think they took all light-skinned kids, because I think there was only like about 4 of us that were dark-skinned out of 17. The rest of us were fairly fair in color. And all of us had these weird names. And I said to myself, maybe they were trying to make it appear as though we were not black kids. My name is Heidelberg. And I asked you, how many black people do you know named Heidelberg? There was Patricia Godbout. There was Alvarez Federico Gonsalon. You know, there was Carol Wellington and Claudia Wellington. There was Louis Cousins. There was Johnny Rouse, and Johnny Rouse was a girl. There was Betty Jean Reed, like I tell people. I don't know any black girls named Betty Jean. She's the only one, but I know a lot of white girls named Betty Jean.
The NAACP purposely selected certain students that I think had the emotional stability to stick it out. Because there are a few, we don't talk about many of them, but there are a few that integrated those schools throughout the South and didn't even last a semester. Some didn't even last a month or two. We don't talk about that group. We talk about the ones that survived it.
Since I had already attended a pretty much Caucasian high school in New Jersey, that it wouldn't be a problem for me at all because it wasn't going to be totally new for me. And I had friends there, and nobody treated you any differently just because your skin happened to be brown, you know. But when I got to Northview, it was quite a big change. I mean, a huge change.
When we integrated the schools, what happened when we got inside the building was that most of the people thought that everything went along fine, because once you were inside that building, it was pure hell in there.
Oh my, the first day when I will never forget, we came up, the NAACP had a driver to pick us up at our home and bring us to the school. And when I arrived, we had been trained well. We knew not to, we were expected to be called names. We expected to be mistreated.
When we turned the corner, I think that's when it really hit us. I mean, it was like, there were so many white people. I mean, I had never, first of all, seen that many white people in my life in one place. And there were cameras, I mean, from everywhere, hundreds of cameras. And they were flashing the bulb, flash. And you could see them they looked like they were just white people for miles. And somebody yelled out, "Here comes 2 more niggers." And then when they said that, seemed like the whole crowd just turned around and they ran to us and they started flashing the bulbs. And you kept saying to yourself, "Lord, I hope nobody just don't hit me, stab me, or anything."
First, I felt excitement because there was all the people. All the children were there. There was 4 or 5 people on the stage. I was excited. So I went in, and I remembered that letter we had received from Dr. King had told us, never sit in the back. Always sit in the front. Always look straight ahead. If you sit in the front, something happens to you. Someone is going to know. If you sit in the back, everyone can pretend they don't know. So I walked all the way down to the front. It was quite crowded, but I wanted to take a seat in the front. As I began to come to the front, all I heard all the way down the rows was, "Nigga, tell baby, why she in our school?"
Everything that they could do to you short of killing you was done in there.
So I went and found my homeroom. And this was when fear jumped into my little young heart. As I walked into the room, there sat behind the desk the man that had been on TV the night before. He had said on the TV with a real red face, and we didn't even have color TV during that time, but you could tell his face was red. "If you put one of them little niggas in my room, you're never gonna see it again."
So far, everything's going just grand.
Alvarez, did you have any feeling of resentment?
No, I don't think so.
Did you make any friends today, Alvarez, you could tell us about?
Well, I think at my homeroom teacher, Mr. Longley, I think I made a friend. I'm not sure. I hope so.
That first day was so awesome because they were all over us, behind us, and they kept throwing the cameras in the microphones in our face.
All I want to do is just come and go to school. I don't ask for any special treatment. I just want to come to go to school, and that's all.
Do you think this situation will settle down a little bit, Alvarez, after a while?
I couldn't very well say. I hope so.
I stood at the door, frightened for a little while, and I remembered, you have to go on.
My